PC Game Studios. Well, hello there, and welcome. We're going to have a serious show today with some serious discussions on video games, like Intellivision, the Intellivision Amico, the Atari, arcade games. It's the ultimate gaming live stream, and we like to do it with no humor and talking serious about video games. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the discussion. PJ Smith in the house. Very, very good. Very, very good to see you. Some Silly Club members. Michael Hayes, good evening. Good evening. Panda Sub 2000. Mr. Sub 2000, good to see you. Indie Racing Nut. Hey, you schmucks. Good morning from Israel. Oh, we are good, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. I've been playing a lot of Burger Time, and I always feel like a winner or a wiener. Tony, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. Panda Sub says, I'm sorry, Chuck, I know you hate it, but I must ask, what is this show all about? Well, it's about hot dogs. It's about burgers. It's about being burger timing. The timing and burgers. That way you can be a winner. So, just saying. Bears fan, Goomba, what is happening? Good to see you. Very good to see you. Forgot it was today. Hot dogs. Yeah. When you play enough Burger Time, Bears fan, you will understand that you must take the persona of your enemy. You must become the enemy. Is that great, Poupon? He split his dog. If you racing, Rodolfo, what's happening? How are you doing? How are you doing? You know what? As a hot dog and the hottest of all dogs, I am going to crack a Coors Light. It's not quite a banquet night. This ain't a weekend. But I'm going to crack a good old-fashioned, look at the mountains are still red, Coors Light. No chili. Everybody wants the chili. Well, I'm not that kind of guy. I take my hot dogs with a little bit of mustard, and I put ketchup in the bun before I put the hot dog in, because that's how you get that extra flavor on the bottom. I don't know what I'm doing. What 1-inch biceps? What's happening, dude? No, actually, if I were to do it, I'm here in Detroit. We do a Coney Island chili. The place is called National Coney Island. It's got like the best chili, to be honest. Foot long. I'm longer than a foot. Dijon ketchup. I've been buying Budweiser stock like crazy. Yeah, right. Isn't it like taking a nosedive? Man, maybe I should get in on some of that. Do I need to come on again? Do you have guests? That is a question. Bragger. What a wiener. I try. I really try. Tony says you need to hit up Sauce Brewworks in Detroit. Really? Oh, hey, Rab. What? This is awkward.
A little bit.
How are you doing today? I didn't think you were coming on till later, so I kind of was doing a thing.
Yeah, it's
anyways, welcome, Retro Advisory Board.
You do your thing. I just always recommend Kraut.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, people were all talking about chili. Like, do you guys have? I know you guys have. Like, do you have Coney Island chili? Like, by a brand called National Coney Island.
No,
It
no, we
must
don't
be
have anything called Coney Island. Just Coney Island. I think everything
right,
else
right.
just
We have the like the it's basically chili dog, but it's like a special kind of chili. It's almost like it's like the creamiest. Like there's like nothing lumpy about it. Just like a really creamy chili. It's delicious, but it's like there's a place called National Coney Island, and it's just all over.
that's like
In
Michigan.
yeah, and it's one of
Yeah.
the biggest. There's a few other ones, but anyways, yeah.
Good to know.
But anyways, yeah, he says, "Did I wear the suit to scare everyone?" I did, and it didn't work. Now we're just talking about we're putting
Creamy
just-
chili. Yeah.
yeah, we're talking about creamy chili. That would be like buying stock in the Titanic after it hit the iceberg. Oh yeah, you're talking about stock in Budweiser. But you never know. Like a lot of this stuff pops back up, and you know, it's like the thing is, I don't think it's. I didn't see it going below like it's still at like $50-something. I mean, if it dropped to like $1, yeah, I'd buy like 1,000 shares or something. But I don't see it doing that.
What is this?
If it does, I probably would. Skyline, yes, dude. I always have a can of Skyline chili sauce in my pantry. Absolutely, Skyline chili. I absolutely agree with you. For regular hot dogs, I'll take a Bar S. I do like you know, the good old fashioned ballparks. They do plump when you cook them. Sonic Coney dogs. That's awesome. Yeah, Skyline's awesome. I never been to I know there's like a places for Skyline chili, but yeah. Anyways, we do have some serious topics. I'm gonna go ahead and
You could keep going on chili. I'm the vegetarian on stream. I have nothing to add.
I did promise silliness in the in chat talk. So,
yeah.
I mean, you don't get much sillier than dressing up like a wiener because I'm a winner.
A wiener is you.
John Alvarado's in the chat, probably regretting coming on, going, "What is this?" Your hot dog costume could be worst.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. I see.
John, you're going to want to stay away. This is bad for image.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, we're going to have to ask you for that back." There's a Skyline Chili and Gold Star Chili restaurants. They're both good. That's awesome. I am freezing my buns off. It is. It's cool. I got the AC on down here, which is even cooler in the basement. But I really like the fact that we're having. So I'm setting up for this big party this weekend. And I just put out tents in my backyard. You know, just like the kind of the sun rain tents, kind of what you do for like a reception or something. And now we're getting this huge storm tonight, and they just delivered all these tables and chairs. I'm just waiting for like either my power goes out, that would be the worst, or but I haven't heard it start yet, so it might be later tonight. And then or my tent just flies away like a giant kite. So
sounds fun.
Yeah. Hot dogs in space. That's funny. Weenie Cookout Forever. That's what I was really trying to get the guys to change the name of the show to Weenie Cookout Forever, and I got outvoted. Yeah. I mean, wow.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't get on time to vote on that one. I will be right back. Okay, give me 1 minute. You got this? You sure?
Yeah, I think I got it. When I got the hot dog suit, I got it, man. I got it.
just checking.
Sean Starlight. I know we don't have no Amico news yet, but hope to talk more about television Amico today, even though we won't have it. Yeah, nothing really going on right now other than the same thing. You know, I'm still having my pilot unit. John Alvarado says there is that morals clause in the NDA that prohibits impersonating fast food. Oh man. So I shouldn't tell them about Burger Time 3 then. I mean, oops. I'm kidding, guys. Don't get Chuck secretly works as a pastry chef for the cartel. Yeah, the mustard mitt. I get it, man. I get it. I get what you're doing with your jokes at this point. Until someone bans me. Well, I think you're that's gonna be kind of hard. You're wrenched, my friend. You are wrenched. It's gonna be hard to ban you. But at the same time, Svi, do you want to talk about? Well, I mean, if there's anything like we were kind of doing more speculating. Let me just push the top of my dog to the side for a second. Yeah, no, there's not really anything going on, but I didn't want to like keep the show on a hiatus or anything because people freak out when you do that. I like a tortilla and a sausage. Okay, and ketchup. Don't grill him too much. Now PJ coming back with a zinger. I really like that. Keep up the horrible hot dog puns. Why can't I talk? I'm exhausted. That's why. I've been doing so much stuff out in my yard. Panda has excellent comedic timing. Born distracted. By the way, the new avatar is looking pretty cool. I crowd stand the hot dog jokes. Hot dog jokes. I bet your buns are getting soggy in that suit. Saggy? Where is Saggy? Saggy! Are you out there? Are you out there in Chatland? 68 Camaro says, you know what is great? Cooking a hot dog over a camp. To be honest, that's pretty awesome. I do a thing. You ever get those pie tins, the pie irons? So you like butter the side of the bread, lay the butter side, down, and then you fill it with like a pepperoni and mozzarella pizza sauce and put it in the fire. And they're called pudgy pies or whatever. I mean, there's other names. I think their official name's like pudgy pie because you can actually get a recipe book to make pudgy pies. But you can do anything. But we used to stick it to the easy stuff, like a pizza pie, which is easy, and then you do like strawberry or cherry or my favorite was blueberry pie filling and bake them in the oven, in the campfire. But my other thing was always using like cooking a hot dog was like, yeah, it's like when you're just out in the wilderness and you just don't want to do much, you just pop it on a stick and yeah, that is awesome. It's just something about it, right? At home, you're like, hot dog? Oh, I don't think so. But yeah, when you're out like there, I think it's awesome. Blood, teeth, and hot dogs. What is happening? Good to see you. Ditching tips in the wiener suit. Oh, family friendly. Come on. I always love ketchup on a hot dog, and then I turned 7. Oh, there you go. Hey, we're still doing hot dog talk, just in case you.
Awesome. Yeah, I hope I didn't miss out. It's
Panda
good to be back.
2000 says, Chuck, is this your Halloweeny costume?
Oh,
the Army says, to be frank,
too soon.
my buns are moist. Oh, and then you worked moist in there. Camaro says, I put on.
You can't say that out loud.
Put me in a pickle, Panda. I can't think of any more hot dog puns. Chuck seems to be struggling to catch up with the chat. Okay, we're all going to get banned. It's going to be glorious. Oh, wow. What else we get? Take that costume to the dog park. That would be cool.
There you go.
Oh, cool. You sent me some links. Okay, cool.
Boom, boom. Sorry, I missed it, guys. I was groaning during a lot of those puns earlier.
He goes, don't worry, I have wrench powers. I'll resurrect you if you get banned.
He'll 5-minute warning you if you fall on the floor.
Onion.
5-second rule. Oh my god. Hey.
Oh, good to see the Army.
So how you been?
Not bad, man. I've been so busy prepping for this 80th birthday party.
What you're talking about? I've been so busy prepping for this hot dog suit.
Yeah, I've been prepping for this hot dog.
I've been slimming down.
But I'm either staining, building, nailing, screwing. Wait a second. Putting up tents, taking down tents, moving picnic tables, setting up chairs, painting, cleaning. So it's been nuts, but a lot of outside work, and I just have to spray I basically have to take a shower of sunblock because of my allergy to the sun, and I can pretty much stay out there quite a few hours. It sucks going to when I go to the beach though. It's like I can only swim for maybe 45 minutes till it starts washing off, then I just start breaking out.
Well,
isn't that
80th
fun?
is a big 80th is a big deal. So salute.
Hey, I wish I had a better beer, but it's refreshing. It's a Coors Light.
How much is that on the stock? $4.50.
No, it's Bud Light. I think is supposed to be down.
Yeah.
But last time I looked, it was like I said, it's like $50 some. So unless I'm rich, how am I gonna like? It'd be great if it was $50, but it's going back up to 1,000. Then I'd like borrow something, you know. But I mean, like I wanted something to get down to like GameStop and AMC prices.
No, it's
you know,
it's. I should not a financial advisor here. But,
right.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with Budweiser, and I don't want to get into anything like political or anything.
Right.
There's a ton of other options. You know, if someone moves on, then it's very easy to move on to something else. It's super easily switchable. So
I like a Sam
it's been
Adams.
interesting.
I like a lot of local stuff. I'd rather buy a local light beer, or if I'm drinking just, you know, where I'm going to some, it's usually Coors or Miller. I was never really a big Budweiser fan anyways, you know, just.
Yeah, but I mean, their parent company, InBev, they own like half of the indie breweries. That's probably not half, but they own a ton. So.
They own Modelo. They own St. Pauli Girl. They own, oh my God, they own a ton of them.
Yeah. Everything. All the things.
If
you are dressed as a hamburger, don't even bother turning on your camera. Just...
Mike, you got your hamburger costume on.
Yes. Sorry, I'm
Mike is dressed as a Knish.
That's right. That is, what are you, the Oscar Mayer wiener?
Yes.
Something like that, I guess. I don't think I'm a branded wiener. I'm just a wiener in general.
He's a Nathan. No, he's a Nathan's Coney. He's good.
Dude, hot dogs boiled in Coors Light and kraut. Yeah, I take that in a second, dude.
All right, we found a use for Coors Light. All right.
I mean, why not? Right? You could do you can do the beer can chicken. Why not? Why not boil your hot dogs? Yeah. Fingers crossed. Mike's ASMR is his eating session. Panda's on fire tonight. Yeah. Panda, you want to hop on, man?
Yeah, I am going on mute for that one.
I've heard the but like okay. Hey.
I can't figure out how to get my Bluetooth headset to work here with hang on a second.
I would not be surprised, Sean. I think the indie scene is probably more adjacent to in television now than ever before. Hey, Hasselhoff.
Hasselhoff in the house. I would never dress up like a hot dog. The cats would chase me all. Well, luckily mine's upstairs, and he hasn't seen this. He would probably just look at me like, "Are you kidding me?" He runs the place. He just lets me live here.
We've heard stories. Yeah, about what happens when he doesn't get fed or play with.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I get in big trouble. All right. Anyways, send me a link, you goose. Okay, well, I will, you goose. You gooser. No goosing me. You better be dressed like some sort of condiment or food item. That's all I'm saying. It's all we ask.
Hold on.
Or in the middle of a shoot.
Surrounded. At
Wegmans?
By food items? Does that count?
Whoa! It's like that Beastie Boys video with Too Many Rappers with Nas when they're running through the supermarket, dude.
Are you at a Wegmans?
That's right. I am at a Wegmans.
All right, that's familiar.
Okay, hold on. I got to send a link here. You know me. You know me with computers.
Yes.
It's called an email. I learned that the other day.
It's called an email. It's an edible mail.
Edible mail. It doesn't taste very good. It tastes very electric. Kind of fizzy.
Woogie, woogie, woogie.
Here we go.
Unfortunately, my evenings are getting just much harder to do fun things. So here I am at the grocery store.
Mine too. I mean, I've done a bunch of fun things. It's just, the kids are staying up later. There's a lot of stuff. There's like work-related stuff that's going on late at night that doesn't need to, and just a bunch of things that it's dad and husband duties are going into overtime after 6.
It's now, because then you got it's summer. What do you want to call it?
Summer break, and
summer break, summer vacation.
The sun is up later, and It's like, it's not bedtime. It is bedtime. I can still see the sun. Like, just shut your eyes. You won't see anything.
That's right. Go to
You're
sleep.
gonna quietly shut your eyes as I put the pillow over.
Yes.
Hold on. I think that's CPS. I think someone's phoning in something.
Wait, where's Uncle? What did Panda call me? Uncle Chuck and Duncan Penguin?
I think that's been erased from the record.
Yeah. That has been erased from existence.
Sounds like an old Disney movie that you can't see anymore.
It's for the best.
Writing television. Michael does a good job of that, dude. I can't wait to do some of his game Fubar live 2-player.
Yes.
If I get an ECS, I could do up to 4 or 8. I know the AI adds it up to 8, but I think ECS is 4.
Yeah,
on Monday
has talked me into getting one of these back bits to load up a bunch of these the homebrew ROMs. I'm excited about it.
On Monday, I'm going to be streaming some Ant Stream on the old Xbox.
Oh, nice. Yeah. There's like what 1,300 games on that, 1,800 games. Something.
What do they mostly have? Do they have any like classics, or is it just?
There's old arcade.
A lot of Commodore 64 and Amiga.
A lot of Commodore. A lot of ZX Spectrum.
ZX Spectrum. Yes.
Yep.
ZX Spectrum for our American audience.
Yes, I know. Lots of arcade, lots of Commodore, lots of Amiga.
And I am very sorry for anyone over in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, whose ears just...
Is that some ketchup?
I need to catch up with this conversation. Hey, guys, it's nice
I am not relishing this moment.
I'm going to have a hot dog attack.
It's nice to meet you guys again.
You guys are driving me bananas.
Ant Stream is good. I want to try Ant Stream.
Beer in mind, I've got nothing.
Star Paddler, good to see you.
Take me out at the ball game. Actually, yeah, just hit me in the head. Take me out. I don't want to be part of this.
Why is that not on the Switch? Yeah, why isn't Ant Stream on the Switch? Well, wasn't the Atari VCS supposed to have Ant Stream on it?
It's PC, Atari VCS, which has an app.
What an app.
And now it's going to be, and Xbox is getting an app.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Might have to check it out. But anyways, we probably should move on to our actual topics.
Should we?
I see about 37 video links here, so that should be interesting.
What are those?
I was going to talk about. I know this.
I had no idea how tonight's conversation is going, so I got a few links just to talk.
It's always just
to in case it was just the two of us. I threw out some stuff.
Man, that is some cool. So where are those? So is there a McDonald's one on the bottom, or is that Hardee's? What is that?
That's not even ketchup. That's Taco Bell.
I see a Heinz on the top,
sauce, right?
and then like a patterned Heinz in the center. The bottom one, is that Wiener Schnitzel? I can't see.
Wiener Schnitzel.
It's McDonald's, apparently.
Oh, so I was right at the beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's dangling pretty nice.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to have a seizure soon because it keeps...
Yeah. I feel like a cat. I just want to squat.
Anyway.
So what are we talking about tonight?
Mini Xbox soon. That would be something.
We're talking about games on Antstream on the Xbox. We're talking about hot dogs. We're talking about our backup.
What's happening?
Our backup Halloween costumes when we weren't
for some reason wearing a hot dog costume. I figured, why not?
If we're going to get clipped anyway, you might as well have
you know what? It's going to be hilarious. I look forward to the hilarity that is coming to the internet for this. Oh, Luke is going back to what I just said a little bit ago. That's dangling pretty nice.
Very nice.
I'm sorry,
Anyways.
but this show is just completely way too cheesy for me.
Whoa!
Come on. God, the jokes tonight have gone to the dogs.
Well, it's already been a half hour, folks, and we haven't even.
We're not done until everyone leaves.
Cheese it up.
I don't think we had a topic. I think we're just
there's no
winging it.
topics. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I want to. If I get a hold of a VCS, maybe that's what I would put Antstream on and try it out. So our topic was underrated video game publishers. The one I picked, and I probably don't have a long of the stuff that you have going on, but the one I really picked and I went with was, it's one I kind of like, but it did have a lot of problems, and that's Universal. And I think it's underrated, and they had, so I'm just going to read a little bit of the history here, and I won't bore you with like just dull reading, but so.
Oh, please do. This is not straight from Wikipedia. I mean, do the
totally not the Universal Entertainment
the wiki fan one.
Wiki page. So they were called Universal Lease Company back in they were in Tokyo years ago, but in 1969 they changed it to Universal Ltd. And they had early success with arcade video games and cloned popular games like Scratch. Isn't that like a chicken feed? In 1977 was a Breakout clone, but it was also the third highest earning arcade in 77 in Japan, just below Speed Race DX and Breakout. Scratch was one of Japan's fourth highest earning video games.
It had a great sequel too, Sniff.
Yeah.
That was it.
Come on.
That was it. You're right.
I was so close. Please try the veal.
Cosmic Monsters 1978 was a Space Invaders clone that became Japan's sixth highest earning arcade video game. So eventually they made a game. It was a sit-down arcade racing game in 1978. Now, they said that they used a 16-bit CPU. Now we're getting almost into that. Was it a 16-bit CPU? Because this was 1978. I mean, we always said in television in 79 did that, right? Mm-hmm. So they made a sit-down driving full, arcade game. This was the first. They considered this and advertised it as the world's first 16-bit video game. And I am going to show you a clip of this. And but imagine it being 1978. This is very impressive.
Yeah, I think 77,
right here.
I think either late 76 or early 77 was when the first 16-bit processors were coming out. So
look how, I mean,
it's super expensive, but as an arcade,
pretty impressive.
You got full color graphics, very smooth scrolling for a driving game, and you actually have a bumper that takes damage. So it'll take 3 hits. There, he just hit part of his bumper off, but he's still going. He has 2 more hits, and then he'll explode. That didn't sound right.
So is this? Do we think this is like the first example of sprite damage, character damage?
I've never seen. I mean, that's probably could have been animated better, but who am I, right? It's 1978. But I just think that is a pretty interesting looking racing game. I didn't even think 78. Only thing I think of is Space Invaders. I don't think of when did
79?
79 was Asteroids, right? Am I wrong on that? Or 79 Asteroids was it 80?
79.
I guess I could look it up.
I thought Space Invaders came out in Japan in 78 and 79 in the US. I might be wrong on that.
I have to look. It's actually in my shmup video.
But anyways, I just thought that was pretty amazing, and it probably just flew under the radar here in the States. I mean, the stuff we had was obviously Ladybug. Anyone remember Ladybug?
I
never heard of it.
My mother on the ColecoVision flipped that. We sent the picture to Coleco. She loved Ladybug. It was one of her favorite games.
It's interesting. It was I don't want to. I hate when people call this one a Pac-Man clone. Sure, it's a one-screen game, and there is sort of a maze. But
in terms of Pac-Man as a genre, as a maze game,
the flip.
It's almost more. It's like a cross between Pac-Man and Mr. Do because of picking up the letters and a little.
Yeah, they always had their extra picking up letters to spell out something. And then it goes to one of my favorites of all time, and that's Mr. Do, that came out it was the same year as Dig Dug, so they literally were like fighting to get both their games out at the same time.
Chuck, was the sequel to Mr. Do D?
Wah, wah,
You
wah.
can't tell it, but everyone's laughing.
They're all laughing on the inside.
That's a good one.
We're gonna have to ban Panda finally.
It had to happen.
No, but you notice that Mr. Do's, a lot of people didn't know this, and I mean, well, I guess you can when I'm calling out right now, but like the very first level is do backwards, it like already in the background, and then when it goes to level 2, it's the numbers of the levels are the paths. So like the next one, it's going to look like the number 2. Like I guess when you're just like looking at it as the tunnels, you don't really notice it. I mean. So like when it goes to like number 2, that's the number, and then like every stage all the way to 10 is shaped like the number. Anyway, it's just a little fun fact about Universal's
Some
Mr.
fun
Do.
trivia.
But those were mine that I figured were some that were kind of just open, and like there's a couple like Ladybug and Mr. Do which are kind of a lot of fan favorites. But to me, that like 16-bit driving game, that would have blown me away in 1978 to see something like that in an arcade where you got mostly vector and black and white graphics things going at that time. And to see that full color, that smooth, and be able to control it with a steering wheel, I think that's pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, I mean there were very few color games. I think when Space Invaders first came out, it was not in color. And there was a lot of games that came out and they would just put like a color overlay or something on the screen that wasn't actually designed in color. And they just make use of that. With the arcade, I mean, it was just a lot cheaper to use a black and white monitor.
He looks like he's just wandering through. Oh, he heard us. He's like, television gamer. What's happening, dude?
I feel like the Blair Witch has sent him on a message, on a mission.
Oh yeah, the Ladybug movie. That was Rodney Dangerfield, right?
I love that movie.
I almost forgot about that movie.
Ladybugs?
Yeah. It's happening back.
Yeah, he was the soccer coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, no respect, I tell you, no respect. I'm wearing a hot dog costume over here. All right. Impersonations are not my.
You had one job,
That
Rodney.
wasn't bad.
I really
good.
Rodney Dangerfield was a fast talking, awesome comedian. So with Don Rickles is another one that's just out of his mind and awesome, dude.
Real quick side note: are you dressed as a hot dog because today is Hot Dog Day?
Did you know it was Hot Dog Day?
I did, and I was just
That's exactly.
Okay.
Why?
He's got a calendar outside that's been marking down the days to Hot Dog Day.
Did you know it was Hot Dog Day?
This was just a hell of a coincidence.
They just told me to put this on here. I mean,
the show desperately needed sponsors.
Get yourself a hot dog.
We don't technically have the sponsor.
Kind of holds up your head.
He's strongly
like you don't have to
courting
really do much. This is after it sits out from the barbecue a little bit too long.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Anyways, Rab, your underrated game publisher.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Let me turn it over to you because I think you have a lot more interesting stuff to say about that.
I don't know if I have interesting stuff. I just, I think with publishers, like we lionize developers, we lionize the programmers that do this, and I think we kind of don't put the equal or appropriate amount of, kind of respect for what maybe publishers do in video games. I mean, the brands we love, you think about like, the black box of Nintendo, that's all, a publisher identifying games and putting out those, or Capcom's, or, Konami Silver, Konami's heavy hitters and everything. A lot of these games that, these developers are putting out, it's not all done by those developers. It's done maybe subcontracted by other developers, but we still kind of look at it as Capcom's library, Konami's library, Nintendo's library, even if someone else is kind of subcontracted in doing it. And I just think there's, so much of what we love about the video game. Yes, the game itself. Yes, the programmers that did these great games, but the marketing and everything behind it really kind of sticks with us as well. So That's why I just wanted to like bring this up as a topic. And a publisher this kind always stuck out to me as being underrated, did some incredibly interesting things. And in my mind, to me, they were like as big as Sony getting in the 90s, and everyone like, Sony's getting into games. Sony's coming. The big dog is coming. We're getting Sony. The developer that kind of has that sort of potential impact, or should have had that potential impact in the 80s and never got it. In 82, a media company got in, CBS Electronics. So my little
nice.
My little props over here. Got some more props over here. I've got some stories to tell. CBS Electronics is one publisher who I'm working on a documentary for. So hopefully in 2024, you guys will see the fruits of that labor. But there's a ton of things that they do that has been just incredibly interesting in the time of Atari, Coleco, and television. You don't have any CBS Electronics games on television.
I'm just kidding.
You don't have any CBS Electronics games in television, but they were planned. They were actually planned, and they were in the works, and
turned into homebrews.
Actually being entered into homebrews now. So 40 years later, we got them. It's pretty worthwhile. But yeah, I shared a couple of videos. I thought maybe it can break up. I know you had some gameplay footage and stuff. So if you want to hit,
so the first one here says Publisher 1 Vid 2.
Vid 1. Yeah, I think I
don't have Vid 1.
It should be there.
Let's see. I have.
Yes, that first link. You got 6 links.
It must have got cut off then.
Okay, hold on.
Unless the first link was it, and just.
Which link are you looking for?
Here you go. So that's the first one.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
that's what it was. It must have just been labeled wrong.
Yeah, it just went. It's after. So I did some videos to kind of break up because I didn't know how long we'd be going.
Let's see, share screen.
But I'll talk a little bit after about some of the interesting stuff they were doing.
So here we go.
So yeah, CBS came in 82, and not only were they a software publisher, but they were also working on hardware behind the scenes. They had something called a RAM Plus chip, which could make their games look a lot more like next gen and kind of continue the life of the 2600.
Wow! Soon on the.
On the Intellivision.
Yeah, I saw that. That would have been amazing to have Solar Fox.
Yeah, a little thing called the crash happened. I mean, they lasted basically for like 16, 17 months, and then disappeared, decided to pull out because they didn't want to take the house down with them.
Yeah, nobody did. Yeah.
But you have to remember, I mean, CBS wasn't just a TV company. CBS also owned, I mean, that was Columbia Records. So you had, this is the company that discovered Bing Crosby. They discovered Bob Dylan. They had just signed Michael Jackson. So, Mr. Sega's working with Michael Jackson's got Moonwalker. He's working on Sonic 3. You can imagine where a studio that a record label that signed Michael Jackson and is paying him to put out Thriller.
Commodore 64, Atari 800. I'm just looking at
could be working on something. We could see a Michael Jackson game in that era. That would have been so interesting to see something like that. But they just had a lot of outlets and a lot of things that they were working on, and a lot of I don't even know the metaphors I'm looking for. They had a lot of stuff going on. So like I said, they were developing
Solar Fox before. I've actually been working on a video for Solar Fox for like a year and a half now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
All
so
right.
It'll be interesting when you get your thing right. It'd be fun to see what you got cooking too.
Yeah. Well, mine is part of a bigger project that I have that's kind of linked to this, but I've got like 25 things like why CBS kind of stood out, like why they had the potential to be something big and weren't. So I don't want to give away too many of those, but there's a couple things that they did. Like I said, they had hardware like the RAM Plus chip. They also had I think on one of these, what is it? Probably try video. Hold on. I think that's video 6.
6. All right.
Yeah, so I don't. Unfortunately, there's no
Is this
sound playing in this.
the challenge? Oh,
I don't know if it's a challenge or not. I should have labeled these better, but I had to put them in while I was in chat.
Oh, I got it, man. It's no problem.
Okay, so here's one. One of the things they did. CBS was the first to sign and create a Madden game, and they actually worked on 2 different Madden games. One was being worked on for the Intellivision, and was promoted in '83 at the CES. And then there was this game, which was a free giveaway for a challenge. They put Easter eggs in all of their games. So if you achieve certain like high scores or did certain things, a letter would flash and you'd be able to write that letter in, and you'd be able to write like a certain word, and you could send away for a free game. And the free game that you would receive in this case was called Madness, and it was under development. Never released because they got out of the business before then.
Yeah.
But you basically buy Wizard of War, buy Gorf, and then you send away your UPC vouchers. I think CBS was like the first
83.
ones to go put like UPC codes on their games, and you could then get a free game. So you hear all about like, well, the crash, like all these companies that were going out and putting out these bad games. CBS is actually going and saying like, we'll give you a refund if you don't like the game. Yeah. Or we'll give you a free game. And you don't see a lot of refunds, and you actually don't see a lot of bad games in their library. And part of that is because their library, they bought the rights to Midway. Midway, when the Bally Astrocade, when they decided to get out, Midway decided like they don't want any part of the home console. This is too much. That's not their wheelhouse. They are focusing on arcades. So CBS swooped in and picked them up. And it just would be interesting to see kind of what they would have come out with and what they would have done. I mean, just about every Midway game, with the exception of, I think Midway had the license for Namco games, so Midway had Pac-Man, but you also had, I think Tapper, and what was the other one that Sega did?
Kurt makes a good. Let me show you this real quick. So, because I had this on his Turbo game for Intellivision. I also have a Donkey Kong Jr. that's
CBS Electronics. So CBS was the workhorse behind a lot of Coleco's games, and CBS put out, you know how Mattel marketed, you have the Mattel Nintendo in Europe? Well, CBS was the European arm, like marketing and manufacturing and putting out those games for Coleco in Europe. And that's why on your INTV2, you know, when they made the lockout for all of those non-Intellivision branded games, so the Coleco games don't work on your Intellivision 2, they do on some of those later games for the PAL regions, because CBS figured out how to work around that lockout chip, and they could get their games to work. So your later games like Venture and a couple other Coleco releases in Europe work. They just don't work on US releases. But that's because CBS had its own technology laboratory. They were inventing stuff left and right. Like I said, they invented that the RAM Plus chip. They invented a sheath that you put on top on your handle of your Atari joystick. So they were the first company to put on a not a profile,
a condom, pretty much for your
yes. I got a demo for you, but
what's that?
It put it on the joystick, and it gave you 2 buttons, the option for 2 differentiated buttons. So if you think about the Nintendo, you had 1 button to accelerate, 1 button to fire. And if you think about all the games that came out on Nintendo, like, oh, you could never do this on Atari because you need 1 for run, you need 1 for jump, you need to pick up something, you need to jump. You know, a lot of games figured out stuff like you do the down, or you hover over something and you push a direction and a button or something, you could get that working. But they figured out a way to kind of, you know, hook in this controller contraption, the boost grip, and give you 2 buttons, 2 action buttons along with your directionality. So basically all the functionality of an NES controller on your Atari controller. And I've seen remakes of like modern day Omega Race. The only game that it came out that it worked for was called Omega Race. And there was another one in the works called Wings that never came out. They basically canceled it like a week before it was supposed to come out. So again, when we're talking about bad games and these companies just pouring bad games on the market, CBS looked at this game and said like, no, this is not ready. But they already made commercials for it. They already printed the boxes and the manuals. So they'd have already spent, you know, $500,000 trying to produce this game without going into production. And then they're like, no, we're not gonna do this. So it's just a very interesting company, and there's a lot of other reasons. I just won't get into them, but I just think this is a interesting publisher. They didn't have any bad games on the system. Have you ever played Tunnel Runner?
No, I've heard it.
I did.
So Tunnel Runner is like a 3D Pac-Man.
Is it on any of these links?
Yes.
Those look like
I remember
balls.
seeing this.
Yeah, they do look like Mad Balls.
Yeah.
I mean, this is,
I
early
love
80s.
Mad Balls.
So
That didn't
that's
sound good
about
either.
the same time frame. I don't remember when Mad Balls came out,
I love
83 or
Mad
so,
Balls,
84.
dog.
But yeah.
Mad Balls.
But it's here's like screenshots. It's a 3-dimensional game, and I think
Yeah, I think there was like a commercial I saw, or we were watching someone play it or something.
Yeah, I think you played it on either the link to the second video or third video goes for Tunnel Runner. But it's a 3D maze game back in 83.
Yep.
And it's not just a hollow maze. It's a I'm backwards here. Not only is it 3D maze games, but these faces that come at you. So yeah, he's in the maze and he's running around. They're called Zots. I think the programmer wanted to call it Zits. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But the interesting thing is the sound design in this game. I don't know what other games really utilize sound design like this. CBS did a couple of them, but again, they're a sound and media company, and they have the record side.
You're so happy to be trapped.
So I'm not trapped. I'm not trapped. Yeah. But it's interesting because you can hear the sound fading out. There's like a Doppler effect that you can hear as they're closer to you. And each of the different colored sounds has like a Pac-Man ghost. The different colors have a different personality and behavior. So some are very stupid. Others will chase you fast. Others will do other things. So it's very interesting. You learn the behavior of each of these enemies in the game. And as you're trying to navigate the maze and make it to the next level. So it's a really fun game. Like
ahead of its time, absolutely.
Ahead of its time, very underrated. It's never on anyone's top 10 list, but it really it should be on a top 10 list. It's just a fantastic game.
Indeed. He said Tunnel Runner was his fraternity nickname, so that's kind of.
And my other one I wanted to talk about was this one, Blueprint.
Oh.
I remember Blueprint.
You remember Blueprint? You know who made this?
I remember Blueprint.
Do you know who made this?
Give me a second.
No Googling, chat. I know Mike isn't going to Google. He's going to use Bing. He's on Team Microsoft.
That's right. I get
That's
points
still
for
around?
that. I get points for that. Are you kidding?
So you'd make this contraption. Shoot. So you'd make this contraption. You have the blueprint for this. It's blurry, but it looks like another Fallows game. I don't know what it is.
Do you have a link for one of the commercials?
I don't think they have a commercial on there
that
I was going to show you. But the people who made it, Ashby Computer and Graphics, changed their name a couple of times, made some pretty significant games. If you have a ZX Spectrum, Mike, if you are playing a lot of this stuff on your Ant stream, you're going to run into a few of their games like Saber Wolf, Attic Attack, Night Lore. They made a lot of good games on the 8-bit computers like the BBC Micro and the Amstrad and the Commodore 64. They changed their name to Ultimate Play the Game and made some money that way. But then they changed their name to Rare.
Wow.
And this was made by Tim and Chris Stamper, their first arcade game. I think their first commercial game. And this is their first home console game.
Hang on, guys.
So
I'm
this
losing.
Is the beginning of Rare
I'm
on
going
CBS.
through a bad. Yeah, Rare. Yeah,
going through a bad.
I'm going through a bad. Hold on.
You're going through a bad.
Going through a really bad.
I'm going through a bad.
I think it's awesome. We've got Mike on the show. He's adding an enormous amount of.
We want to stop and give us a hug.
Hold up, guys. Cop pulled me over. Hold up. We got to do a breathalyzer.
No. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I know
that out of my butt.
I know that's what you're hoping for. Right. Freeze.
So anyway,
I know that's what you're hoping for.
Anyway,
fight it, Mike. Fight it.
When I think of underrated publishers, when I think of companies that were doing innovative things that, if in a lot of ways they seem like they were too soon, They were doing stuff that was too soon. In other ways, they killed by the crash. I mean, they weren't taken down by the crash. They got out before it hit them, but they saw what was going down all around them, and they're like, nope, we're out. But if it was any other time, I just think they could have done so many interesting. They were already doing interesting things, and they could have done so many more with some of the stuff that they were doing and some of the stuff that they were pushing and promoting. They were doing giveaways. They were hiding Easter eggs purposefully in their games.
Easter eggs, you say?
Yeah, they were doing fun campaigns and stuff to engage with the audience, and it's just a very interesting company. And I don't hear anybody like, oh yeah, I love CBS Electronics games. It's just, it never comes up.
I mean, I love my Wizard of War pretend CBS Electronics game, but I still keep the cartridge out because I love playing it. I don't want to keep opening the box. It has IntelliVoice too.
And such a great game. I mean, again, like Pac-Man, is same sort of format, but differentiated enough. It's definitely its own thing.
Do you want me to hit the next video here?
Oh, you can go around. People have heard me for like 20 minutes now. I didn't think I would take that long, so I'm sorry.
Well, Mr. Bad Mike Mullis, are you going through another bad?
Please stop. I will close the door. Go. Oh my God, my child. Right. Arguing with me.
DJC Game Studios.
Well,
what do you think of?
Because Rab talked about Midway.
Yeah.
Rab mentioning Midway kind of hit the soft spot for me, because he's right. They didn't think they were right for the home market, but good grief, they put out some great home games.
Yeah. I mean, Midway was always interesting. They just didn't want to handle it themselves. They were the Sega of their time.
Yeah. Well, and they ended up putting a few things out through Acclaim, who's another.
Oh yeah, Acclaim purchased. They had a very close relationship with them in the late 80s and 90s, of course, with
NBA Jam and a ton of those type of games. But they were very underrated as far as what people wanted from Midway. But if you go back and look at their catalog's amazing.
Mortician's Combat. Yeah.
I see it, Panda. I see it. Remind me why I came on the show?
Because you love us. And we love you.
To be fair, we've listened to 90 minutes of you opening things, closing things, signaling.
Oh, that's great. All right. Continue, Mike.
Would you like to hear me blend something?
No. Panda's crossing his fingers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Chat, let's go to chat. Scepter says, what about Virgin? Do they still make games?
No, they don't make them anymore.
No,
not directly, but I think Virgin was I think they sold their game unit too. So it's been renamed or picked up by someone else.
I
think many INTV people were. No, so when INTV, I mean, Mattel let go of everybody, and Terry Valesky hired like 15 of them back, 15 or so people back when he made the INTV Corp. But I mean, Mattel was gutted. Basically, they went back to the Power Glove, and they did some stuff with Nintendo very quietly. They were, like I said, they were promoting Nintendo, marketing Nintendo in Europe. But I think that was just a product of Mattel, the toy division. I don't think that had anything to do with any remainders from Mattel Electronics. I think all those people moved on to other companies.
Yeah.
By this point, you had,
the Blue Sky Rangers were still doing, or collectively doing stuff to just keep.
And you had Real Time
Associates. That was more Keith Robinson, to be honest.
Yeah, with
for the Intellivision stuff.
With David Warhol, you had Dan Daglow was, I don't think he was with EA anymore. I think by this point he was with Broderbund. So I mean, all of the big.
Is that actually how you pronounce it? Is that how it's pronounced?
Broderbund is how I pronounce it.
Broderbund. It's like it is like a Norwegian word or
you're right.
Danish word or something. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. As a kid, it was just like Broderbund, but they've had some German friends who said it differently. So I don't know. I know I'm saying it wrong. I don't want to say it again.
Andy Ray says, so they're not going to be so there's still not going to be a keyboard extension module. 40 years in development. That has to be a record.
It'll be out soon. Soon on like a universal time scale. Soon. So give it some time. Did you scare him off? What did you do?
Now whoa! Oh, you're facing the wrong way now, Panda. Hold on. I'll fix that. There you go.
Do you live next door to a Wegmans?
Yes.
How did you work that?
Yes, I am. Hey, I never complain about it.
You're just in a little manager's booth right above.
That's
above
right.
The customer support section. You just look out your window. Hey, you just start seeing bang. Hey, get back to work.
He's the security. He's up in the security office. He looks down over the supermarket from his window, from his suite, if you will.
Yes, that is my other job. I'm IT by day, Wegmans manager by night.
William Shatner.
Mr. Shatner is here.
It's first of all, I've always wanted you on the show. So, Mr. Shatner, great to
Mr. Vic 20.
I see you're not wearing your hairpiece today. I was wondering what your favorite underrated game publisher is, and maybe some of your favorite games from that.
Well, I wasn't really prepared for this.
I know, that's what makes this fun.
Mine's not going to be very fun because it's probably really debatable, and I'm not even sure if they're a publisher or they're a developer. But I was going to say Double Fine. Does that count? Can that count?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because
right? Well, they're a developer for Microsoft, so
but they were they did publish.
But right now they're not technically, but it still can count.
Yeah. Well,
great.
Why not?
I'll say Double Fine because Double Fine has always like skated the line of it's people know about it. They make these games, but they're very rarely successful. I've loved everything from their point and click adventure games to their even I think what is the heavy metal game? Brutal Legend, right? Brutal Legend.
Oh yeah.
Was that Double
was
Fine?
Not a big hit. I'm sorry?
Was that Double Fine?
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's all Tim Schafer.
Right.
So that's a great game that merged, real-time strategy games with third-person kind of platformer kind of game. They're always doing unique things. Like the whole environments look like metal covers, like metal album covers and stuff like that. So, Psychonauts. All these games are high concept and they're usually executed pretty damn good, but it just never found a mass market appeal. And with this, you could make a very strong argument that with the Microsoft buyout there, that they now have a chance. And with Game Pass, you can make the argument that they'll be in, but people are given a better shot than they did before.
Yeah, it's very similar to what Rockstar was doing, and Take-Two bought them, and they were able to execute that very well. But yeah, it's
certainly Psychonauts 2 is one.
Sure. Well, I said Psychonauts, yeah.
No, but I meant the sequel. I mean, the sequel came out on Game Pass, and it did very, very well.
Because even the VR game is great, too.
I'm thinking of Ratchet and Clank. Never mind. I was about to say, it wasn't Psychonauts PS, but I was like, no, that's Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. No, it's, like I said, all high concept stuff, usually very clever writing, usually very funny. So that would be my pick. And if people out there are unfamiliar with them and you have Game Pass, give some of their stuff a look.
Yep.
Andy says, "Hey, which one of the buttons on this chat calls your moms to come pick you guys up?"
The home button.
And that is comment of the evening.
Isn't that like an Earthworm Jim joke?
Probably.
Because even in the manual, it said if you press Y, it turns off your neighbor's house lights. Did you guys?
It flickers your neighbor's house light, so your mom tells you to come back home.
Yeah, that's. I could have sworn that's from. Anyway,
I don't remember that one.
Well.
I don't know. I mean, the big joke in Earthworm Jim was always the cows.
Well, this was in the booklet. The booklet was hilarious.
What are those?
All right, hold on. The first one or the second one?
The second one, I think.
All right, that's on Saturn. Hold on.
I unfortunately have to run for 5 minutes. I'll be back though, but I'm dying to see what. I'm not going to take you on any audio adventures.
You sure you don't want to just keep it on in the background? Maybe you have just a generic avatar blinking every once in a while.
I will be back.
It's an away mission, Mr. Shatner.
All right, hold on. I will find it.
I have no TJ Hooker jokes. I have no Shatner jokes.
Where did he go?
That was pretty good.
All I can remember is when he did Saturday Night Live and they did the Star Trek revolving.
The restaurant? Yes, I remember that clip.
And Dana Carvey as Khan. There's no sneeze guard on a salad bar.
That is pretty awesome. I gotta go back and watch that now.
Yeah, I know of it. I'm just not ringing them.
I've
seen them all many times, but it's like I don't have it memorized like that.
So funny.
Wasn't Kevin Nealon Spock?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd have to be.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember, and I'm just getting like the In Living Color with Jim Carrey as Spock.
Oh, that one, yes. And the Wrath of Farrakhan.
Yeah, that's the one that's stuck in my head right now.
Yes, that one is fantastic too.
Everyone having their moment of realization.
Yes, and of course there's the classic SNL one with Jim Belushi.
John
Belushi. Sorry, John Belushi.
Yeah, John
Belushi. I think that's what I'm thinking of more than I was.
Where CBS comes in to shut the show down, and they start taking away like the
backdrop and stuff.
And yes, and Chevy Chase is Spock, and they take his ears. All right, so Panda is close. Yeah,
although CBS couldn't get that because that was Sega, Paramount. Although Paramount owned CBS, they've always been close.
Sega, Paramount. So Panda is close. So in the control section of Earthworm Jim 2's manual, control pad immediately withdraws all monies from your bank account and transfers it to Shiny Entertainment Inc. Oh, it also controls the direction Jim moves and fires. So he was close.
All right. Yeah.
So I'm looking to see if
I played the first one. I never got into the other ones. And I never even won the first one. I'm terrible at it, but it's fun to play. Doesn't mean I still don't love it.
Earthworm Jim 2 is
your mascara sticking, buddy?
Much better.
Yeah.
Some ketchup.
No, I have a contact lens that likes to ride on my left eye really bad, and it's about ready for a new one. I think it's falling apart, but it's like my last. I'm just holding on to that last couple days.
All right, so there's a few things in the hints and tips as well. So,
guys, I didn't mean to derail your show. I don't need you to read the booklet.
Yeah, thanks, Panda. Now it's the whole Earthworm Jim reading.
Yeah,
I wanted to do a William Shatner reading.
I have to do it as yes.
No,
I have to read the notes as William Shatner. Jim's been working out recently, and now he can lift just about a boot. A boot.
Ooh. Know it.
It's in there for our Canadian friends. Anything that isn't nailed down.
Nice.
So no, but the control pad says under the controls, it says control pad immediately withdraws all monies from your bank account and transfers it to Shiny Entertainment Inc. It also controls the direction Jim moves in these. So no,
yes, they had a lot of those little jokes. That's what I was thinking of.
Loosen the lug nuts just a little on the tire you want to change before you elevate the car with the jack. So there's a bunch of hints and tips, and they have nothing to do with the game.
Right.
That
is investment hints and tips. Yeah.
Big
Yes.
Block with the deep cut there. He did have a
Yeah.
next day hangover. You are absolutely correct, sir. The Atari creep is in the house.
Yeah, Gray Bear.
What is happening, dude? Good to see you, man. He was showing off some artwork. He was had like a sale on some artwork. It looked really cool. And then
Yeah,
He
you
always
showed a
does
lot
some
of it
really
on
creative
Instagram
stuff.
if you haven't checked them out.
Yeah.
always good to see you, man. Anyways, if you want to take it back, Rab, did you have some more? I knew you had a few more links. I didn't know if you were.
You don't have to. We've got. I don't know if Mike wanted to add to this. If
So I had one
anyone
that
from the
I
chat.
Yeah, go ahead for it. Your underrated publisher.
Yeah, I actually had one, and
Okay.
I don't know. Rab will remember this. I'm sure Panda will. I don't know if you know of these guys or not. Chuck, CinemaWare, one of my favorites.
What's the games they?
All right, so
I know I've heard of it, but I'm not too familiar.
The big popular one was Defender of the Crown. That was
I have the ROM. I don't have it.
Right. So there's Defenders of the Crown, the Three Stooges, Rocket Ranger, and then they did some sports games: TV sports baseball, TV sports football, and I think they did TV sports hockey
for TurboGrafx PC Engine.
Yes,
that's probably what I had. Actually, no, I sold all my sports TurboGrafx games.
And they tried to make a comeback.
I had them.
In kind of the early 2000s, and never quite did. But I mean, their games came across. I had most of them for both DOS and the Atari ST, but they made games for Commodore 64, for the NES. Defender of the Crown was on NES and stuff like that. And Defender of the Crown actually is probably the most ported of their games. So they did basketball, hockey, and football, and then they did
the TV sports license.
Today.
That was
and then they
big
did
at the time.
Then they did boxing and baseball, and the boxing game was actually ABC World of Boxing, Wide World of Sports Boxing. So they had a great lineup of games. So they did, like I said, they did those games. They did, they were the one who had Wings, Rab, which did come out on the Amiga. And then it came from the desert, which was really good.
Oh, that was another one ported to TurboGrafx, Turbo Duo.
Yep, Sinbad and the Throne of the Falcon, King of Chicago, and SDI. So they had tried to bring stuff back. They did have a couple of Game Boy Advance titles. They did have a couple of they did actually upgrade Defender of the Crown. I used to have it, and I don't know what happened to it. They brought out a new version called Robin Hood Defender of the Crown, and it came out for PS2 and Xbox.
They had a Defender of the Crown homebrew for Intellivision as well.
Yep. One of my favorites was actually Three Stooges. It was a neat game, and at the time, at the time I was playing them on PC, I actually had a Tandy 1000 EX. So while everybody else was getting the single channel sound out of their PC speakers, the Tandy was capable of 3-channel sound. So I was getting like as much of the real Three Stooges theme song as possible. So the CinemaWare was, and their graphic quality and their animation quality was ahead of everybody else at the time. I mean, it really was. They were very graphic heavy.
So there's TV sports hockey.
Yep. And I tell you what, it looked as good as any of the Genesis game hockey.
I never really played much of these. I had, which is funny because I had them, but I never.
Yeah, I mean the visual on the TurboGrafx would be comparable.
And they were.
But it looks great for the time. If I was playing this in 1989, this would be fabulous.
And it's not just that, but the presentation, because again, they were partnered with ABC. So as you saw before the game started, they did broadcasts. They did, they had that kind of like with football, they had halftime
Like
and
Blades of Steel.
Yeah, but that was how those games looked, and they played great, and they were fun.
Anyways, just thought I'd show one of those.
I am
was
not.
really
My
impressive.
memory is not being jogged by any 3DO games that were on other systems. I'm not
Army
recalling
Man.
anything.
Army Man
VR,
was a big series.
Army Man, VR Golf, Road Rash.
Well, Road Rash wasn't
Need-
3D.
Road Rash
Studio-
was not. That was
Studio
Was not
3D.
Are you talking about? All right, so you're talking about first party. I'm sorry.
Studio 3DO games.
Was it the 3DO company?
So they, well, I'm trying to get, yeah, there we go, 3DO company. Yeah, okay, so they did all the Army Men. Wow, there's a lot of those. They also did Crusaders of Might and Magic, Blade Force, Battle Tanks Global Assault for N64,
High Heat
Army Men
Baseball.
3D. They did Station Invasion. We're going to play that. Dragon Rage.
High Heat Baseball, which actually is now owned by Microsoft.
2002 to 2004.
Yep.
Jurassic Park, PlayStation 2.
Portal
Killing
Runner.
Time, which was on Mac, PC, 3DO. Killing Time is a great game. Dude, they did Twisted, the game show.
Yep. And then Warriors of Might and
Magic. Found out that some of the publishers are big fans. Not anymore.
And World Destruction League Thunder Tanks. But yeah, they published a lot of stuff that was.
We love you.
So I know a handful of these. I just didn't. I think 3DO is a separate publisher on other platforms. I'm just wasn't thinking. But I mean, Army Men, of course, and the Might and Magic.
I didn't realize how many there must have been 20 Army Men games through.
There was there's like a 5-year.
N64 alone. Holy crap!
Oh, they published the Horde. They published the Horde too.
Horde's a great game.
I've got a PC. I got the PC copy of that. You know who worked on that?
I don't.
Did John work on that?
John worked on that.
I need to have John on next time. I just need to do an I probably can't have him on live, but I could see if I can get an interview about Demolition Man and the Horde, because those are
after that whole hot dog incident, he's gone.
Yeah, I noticed that he's not in chat anymore. He's like, you know what, hot dogs. I'm done.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because I mean, I was not in a hot dog costume. Correct. I was not. I have no clue what you were even pointing to.
You saw someone in Wegmans. He's like, I gotta go get my groceries
too. Logo up and my regular names. I don't even know what we're talking about. So Hulk Hogan, can I call you Terry? I wanted to know about your workout regimen and what you do to keep your fingers in shape. Skippy, big poop.
Have you thought about a reality show? Maybe bring your family. You know, it's good for everybody.
We should do a show where you just change names and I just go and I just keep going with it. Just keep interviewing you as you turn into different people. Anyways.
Yeah, but I'm actually not really needed on this show anymore now that everyone showed up. But because before I was nervous.
You saw me. You're like, he actually put the hot dog costume on. It's bad. This is a red alert.
I sent him a message like, I may be a couple minutes late. It's hard to get my kids to bed, but I will be on.
You have a valid excuse.
Like, you do what you have to do, and he's like, all right, hot dog or not.
I will do. I came down.
I may
here.
or may not have been dressed as.
It was all planned.
Dude, they did. 3DO published the entire Might and Magic series.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Go 3DO.
EA? I thought EA. Yeah, I mean, I know 3DO's origins, but I thought Might and Magic.
Topics, Chuck?
No, Heroes. So they did all the heroes.
Topics were silliness and chat talk.
I think FCI also did a Might and Magic.
They might have. So the ones that are listed as published by
on Super Nintendo.
The ones that are that say they are published by 3DO were 6, 7, 8, 9. Heroes.
I have a fun question.
all the way
I
through
like fun questions.
6.
Skippy Big Poop, go ahead. What's your
Well,
question?
when Mike is done, are you done? Are you done, Mike?
Yeah. Oh, they also published Toka Championship Racing. They published Need for Speed. I guess they might have published it for the 3DO.
Right.
Oh yeah, they had a really great actor
Yeah.
for that game, by the way.
Because it came out
You
for
want to go
the
fast, man.
yeah.
So stupid. Oh, I gotta get that.
All right, go ahead.
Concerned.
What is ye question?
Skippy, go ahead.
So, what I was going to ask was, with the, maybe I'll bring it out later. I might have some that may answer that little. But what I was going to ask the panel here was that of these publishers that you guys have mentioned, which one, name a single game that you feel would be a great remake today that would have the best shot at having, some appeal nowadays? Is there any game or that you would like to see just, retooled a little bit for modern audiences?
Defender of the Crown.
What did you love so much about that game?
It had so many different elements that all kind of fit into one game. Whether it was jousting, whether it was a little bit of RTS, a little bit of it had elements of like Command and Conquer, taking because but it also had some action stuff. It had a little sword fighting in it, right? The Robin Hood game did a decent job, but I would love to see them
right.
Mine would have been definitely. I would like to see a reimagined or redone version of Mr. Do. I like that is one of to this day one of my favorite games. I don't know if it's the sound I love the sounds and the music in it, but just Universal always had like that unique kind of art style or playability of their games, which I thought they were super colorful. The music always made you come back to it, and it was very recognizable. But I don't know, Mr. Do, something about just the strategy. You're dropping these Macintosh or what are they, Golden Delicious apples or whatever. You're dropping those. You can either get the cherries, clean or you get the food in the center, which turns everything into monsters that come after you. It's like it's so weird and bizarre, like how they came up with like the, and then you had to spell extra to get the extra thing, and then if you find the diamond, then you get like an extra game. And I really think, Mr. Do, and I don't think there's really been anything new or 3D-ish of that game as far as modern now. I'm not saying I don't want a first person like Doom like Mr. Do, although
graphical overhaul, maybe some new levels, things like that.
Yeah, like kind of they could do it in the style of to be honest, if they did it in the style that like you see something like Pac-Man 99. They just added to the original graphics. It looked like you were playing a real Pac-Man game. But what instead you were playing, you were playing Pac-Man, but they added like all these, like, the ghosts and the different items. And then you had the trail of ghosts and you're fighting, obviously out virtual, 99 people on all over the world and stuff. But yeah, that would be cool to see that just to not, I hate it when they change it up too much. It's like you could even keep the original graphics, but just add so many different power-ups and different levels and just add on to it. But I'd also wouldn't mind seeing it, and I shouldn't hate to say it because this is Amico forever, but because I just know it's a sore spot and a lot of people want to see this game, as do I. The way they did the remake of Night Stalker for the Amico, like that kind of like that sort of 3D, but enough pixelated goodness that it's nostalgic.
Visually, that looked gorgeous. Am I allowed to ask if you've ever played that? Am I allowed to ask that question?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And for me, the answer is no. I've never played that, and I guess I could ask. I don't even know. I never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever asked to play it. Well, I think to be honest, to be fair, I think when we were in
when
Pennsylvania
we were in
for
Pennsylvania,
the Crayola.
it was on one of
He had it
Tommy's
on Tommy had it on one of the machines, and we just never. We were playing so much.
yeah.
There was so much other stuff. Like we wanted to play the new one because it was Flying Tigers was the newest announced one, and so we played that, and then, but yeah, so I never asked to play it. None of us
too
did.
many games, too little time, and everyone was just
Yeah,
excited to
everybody's
be
kinda
together. So
find their turn, and
Visually,
Well,
that game looked. I mean, like not only
beautiful.
for visually,
Yeah.
it looked gorgeous, and it looked like it added just the right amount of things that you would want to add to a semi reimagining of it. Like,
yeah,
it seemed to keep to the roots, but also go just the right amount of distance where it feels like a new game, if that makes sense, but still.
Yes, it's what you want to see, like something that's done by a fan, and they want to recreate that game as it would look if they could, take it up a notch in certain places, but not go so far from it that it looks like something else. They still want it to be that. It's got to look and feel like that, but it has this nice, like, oh, that is nice. That if you had that ability to do that in 1983, that would have been amazing. So it's like you add a few things that would have been great originally. You don't add a few things that change it up so that it's different.
about color a dinosaur? That would be cool. Oh, here we go. So Big Block dropped a bombshell. Here, look at that. I would love a true remake of Wing Commander Privateer.
Yeah.
Privateer was not my favorite in the series, but I would certainly love a new Wing Commander.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean,
else.
Controls are
a good idea. Yeah.
Controls were insane, but like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to pull up absolute space flight controls where you need a flight stick and everything, and I'm trying to do them on a regular D-pad, and it just wasn't. I don't know what would make it. I guess I tried my best to understand it, but we did a couple shows on it. I love the idea. I absolutely 100% love the story, but just when you're just flying around, it just seems like a lot of unnecessary. Remember that one time where I completed the missions and I just couldn't dock back to the ship, so I just kept shooting my own ship, and then they shot me because I was attacking them. I just it was so crazy, man.
Rookie mistake. I can't land, so I just shoot up everybody around.
Joey, what's going on? Joey Vibes, how are you? Good to see you.
All right, so my
Burger Time remake as well. I would love to see that. Oh, with me and a hot dog counting. I'm just like this. Anyways,
we just all throw sugar on you or salt on you.
Yeah.
All right, Wab, you got one?
Yeah. From I would do Mountain King. This was the music in this was classical. I mean, in the Hall of the Mountain King, and I forget the other one, but it was really good music. And this is another game that was like musically inclined. You get close. The music plays when you get close to, the spirit of the flame that you're going to seek, and you go and you get the crown. Then you have to try and keep it as you're making your way back up the mountain. Obviously you can do lots of different levels. You can do ice levels. You can go into like the islands or under the sea or whatever. There's 1,000 different variations of Pitfall and Tomb Raider places you could go. But I just like that, like you were using the flashlight, or maybe you use a tool in each level to do something different and interact with your environment in a different way and try to figure out how to avoid a new enemy on each level, or a couple of enemies, or something that's going to, like this had spiders and bats and others. So it would just be, it had a lot of, not moxie. It had a lot of ambition and stuff that it wanted to do, and it really did it well. But I mean, today you could do a lot more, and you've got a lot of games that are like that. But again, use that sound element, use that limited visualization of what you can see with your flashlight or something to kind of hone in your scope, hone in on like what the effect is that you're doing on each level. I think that'd be cool. And still simple, still interesting, still easy to kind of pick up and play. It wasn't easy. It was very difficult, but conceptually, it didn't take too long to figure out what you were doing.
Well, that's awesome, guys. Well, I think I'm going to end it because I got a lot of stuff to do in the morning, and I got to get some sleep.
Yeah, return that hot dog costume before you get another.
Yeah, I really just want to go lay down with the hot dog costume. It's got its own side of the bed. We're not going to get into it, all right? What I do with my hot dog costume and all the extra condiments that are in my drawers have nothing to do with you guys or this show. But before I go, I want to. Anyone have anything that Skippy Big Poops? Did you want to promote anything coming up on your other channel, which is not named Skippy Big Poops?
Sure. So tomorrow on Panda Sub 2000, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the next Master Debaters episode. If you guys know Geekstorian, he is on there. And amongst another lovely group, a lovely panel is on there. Also, I'm about to shoot our next podcast, Retroverse, with this gentleman up here next week.
Heard of him
that's
too.
going to be a really, really fun show. I think everyone's going to like that the most out of any of the shows that we've made.
The mostest.
The mostest. Yeah, that's what I've got right now. Thank you very much for having me.
Very good. Original Next Level Gaming. Skippy Big Poops.
Ah.
I have diarrhea. I'll see you next stream, says Joey Vibes.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night,
Get out of here, Joey. For your own sake.
I'm going to be tomorrow night. I'm going to be playing a game from Digital Devolver that has some retro chops to it called McPixel 3. It looks really good, and it's on Game Pass, so of course. And on Friday, we're going to be streaming some Exoprimal from Capcom, which is nice. It's like it's a cross between. How do I describe this? It is Starship Troopers with dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs is the good
awesome.
guys getting recruited?
No.
Or revived
They
dinosaurs?
would just replace the
bugs.
spider guys.
Yeah, it's you and a team of 4 against a horde of dinosaurs. It's freaking wild.
Devolver.
That's actually not bad.
Devolvers, they're not underrated. I'll be honest with
It's
you.
like a Double Fine kind of answer. I think.
They are very highly respected, and have put out
Thanks,
some
Sean.
fantastic games. Hey, Sean.
Happy dreams?
So be doing that, and then on Monday, late Monday night, well after Astro Smash, I will be streaming some Antstream Arcade on Xbox. So does Tony Hawk know I rate his wardrobe? And next Tuesday night at 9:30 is the NLG show, and I have no freaking idea what we're talking about yet.
Rab, did you have anything? I didn't think you did, but I just figured I'd ask.
Do you know me, sir?
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
He's just promoting CBS Electronics Tunnel Runner. Go out and get it today, kids. It's available at your
Available
Walmart,
somewhere.
your Kresge's, your Kmart's, any place where you get fine electronics and stereophonic sound.
Isn't Kresge's Kmart? They were the same,
Well,
right?
they were.
Okay.
Then they were
Yeah.
Sears. Then now they're nothing. But anyways, I do appreciate it. Everyone we'll see you. I'm pretty sure next week. I'm just trying to see. I know I'm out of town. Yeah.
I'm on the road the following week, so I won't be on in 2 Wednesdays, but I should be here next week.
So we'll try to do next week, and then it's probably going to be a break at least a week. Unfortunately, it's summer, guys. We like to get out and go to the beach and do some snorkeling.
Well, this is
I got a quick story I got to tell Indy Nut, if you'll indulge me for a minute.
Okay.
All right.
He will. I don't know if Indy will.
Well, he'll appreciate this because he said this is a new.
For your indulgences, sir.
Yes, this is a new Keepa.
Indy is
So
the Catholic
there's-
Church of the chat room.
Yes, there's a reason for it. So
Wormhole.
yes. What are you doing? We went.
Sorry.
So first week of the month, we went on a cruise. To the cruise, it was rescheduled from December for my son's bar mitzvah, Seth. So we went to Roatan, Honduras. It's a tourist island, and they have a one of the excursions we went on was AJ's Monkeys and Sloths. It was really cool. We got to hold a sloth. It was really wild. But we
Sounds like a
went
barbecue
into
joint.
Sat there, don't give it away. So we went into a large enclosure with these white-faced capuchin monkeys, and they tell you beforehand Don't go in with any jewelry, anything in your pockets that the monkeys will reach in your pockets, try to take stuff. They'll try to take necklaces. If you have anything loose jewelry, don't do it. I had on a hat. I had on a nice hat like Chuck. And I said, well, what about my hat? And the guy was like, your hat's fine. The monkey might actually grab at your hat. Just hold on to it. So I'm like, okay. So we go into the big enclosure, and there's monkeys everywhere. They're walking around. They're jumping on people. They're getting up in people's faces. It's all fun. And this monkey comes over and starts kind of holding my hat. And I grab my hat, and I'm like, no. And I take my hat off and hold on to it so the monkey doesn't take my hat, forgetting I had one of my nice keypot on. And the monkey went like this and grabbed it off of my head, ran up to the top of the enclosure, and started like putting it on his head and smelling it and doing this. The guy who ran the enclosure, who was the one who said, don't have any jewelry, anything like that, he was mortified because, of course, nobody's taking a, it's one thing to take somebody's necklace. It's something else to take somebody's religious item. And he's like, I'm sure the monkey we can get it back. It's okay. And I'm like, dude, that thing cost me $8. It's fine. And I had like 7 others that I brought with me for just those occasions, when a monkey might steal it or, something along those lines. So it was just a very funny moment.
That is cool though.
Yes. You had to be there, apparently.
I was in the back of the monkey cage. I cleaned them up on the weekends.
Mike said photos or it didn't happen. I have a photo of the monkey grabbing my hat, but they didn't. He grabbed my yarmulke so quick that it did not.
Wait, but Mike, did you tell the converting joke though?
Oh, so all right. So while they're doing that, you're right. My oldest son Jacob, is laughing and he's going, that monkey's going to go up there and convert the rest of the monkeys now. And now there's a group of Hasidic Jewish monkeys in Honduras. I have disrupted the entire ecosystem. They all love brisket. They all love brisket now.
Yeah.
So
who doesn't love brisket?
Yeah. It was just
Saturdays, no electricity.
Yeah, no electricity.
Right? Yep. It was one of those moments that I wish we had gotten the moment that he grabbed it, but it was just and other
Those
people
monkeys have insane machines to peel the bananas for them. It's incredible.
So,
But it was they hand peel them that day. So
we do need to talk more, Andy.
Anyways, guys, we'll see you next week for more silly fun. Oh, and guarantee you, it's gonna get weird. Well, thanks to Skippy McHotPoo, Retro Advisory Board, and Mike Mullis of Original Next Level Gaming, and me, Mr. Dress Up. Take care.
Call me Mr. Wegmans.
Good night, everybody.